Today, no one can imagine life without a smartphone. That's because mobile technology has not only changed our lives, but in some form we have become slaves to it. Many of us can definitely notice the anxiety which may overcome us when we forget to take our smartphone with us. We have this sense that we are losing contact with reality, resulting in panic. Welcome back to Unveiled. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic that might make you question the very fabric of your daily life. What if we didn't have mobile phones? Do you sometimes wonder what would happen if we went back to times where we didn't have smartphones? Or for some reason the resources behind the technology that produces these devices were no longer available, and that's it. No more smartphones. Well, stick around as we embark on a journey into the hypothetical realm of a phone-less existence. Let's explore how a world without mobile phones would affect our morning and daily routines. The alarm clock rings, waking you up to a brand new day. No more reaching for your phone to snooze or scroll through notifications before your feet even hit the floor. Instead, you might have an actual alarm clock by your bedside, or maybe even wake up to the natural sunlight streaming through your window. Without the allure of checking your phone first thing, your morning routine takes on a different vibe. Maybe you grab a physical newspaper or turn on the TV to catch up on the news. You're not immediately bombarded by work emails or social media updates, allowing for a more serene and focused start to the day. Imagine sipping your morning coffee without the distraction of a buzzing phone. You're fully present, taking in the aroma and enjoying the quiet moments before the day kicks into high gear. Perhaps you pick up a book or engage in a bit of conversation with family members without the constant ping of notifications in the background. Now, as you step out into the world, the absence of mobile phones makes a noticeable difference in your daily routine. No GPS guiding your every turn, so you might find yourself dusting off a paper map or even asking for directions. A bit old school, but it adds a touch of adventure to your commute. Without the constant stream of messages, your daily interactions take on a more intentional tone. Instead of quick text exchanges, you might plan meet UPS in advance, bringing back the anticipation of seeing friends or colleagues. The lack of instant messaging encourages more face-to-face conversations, whether it's at the water cooler or during lunch breaks. As you navigate your daily responsibilities, the absence of mobile phones could mean less multitasking and more concentration on one task at a time. It might take a bit longer to get things done, but the trade-off could be a heightened sense of mindfulness and presence in each activity. So, in this phone-less world, your daily routine becomes a more intentional and focused journey, free from the constant digital distractions that often pull us in different directions. I hope this paints a vivid picture of how our mornings and daily lives might unfold without the omnipresence of mobile phones. It's a different pace, a bit more deliberate, but who knows, it might bring a sense of simplicity and connection that we sometimes miss in our tech-filled lives. What do you think? How would you feel about starting your day and navigating your routine without a mobile phone? Well, let's dive deeper into the fascinating realm of how socializing would change in a world without mobile phones. Just imagine this scenario. It's a sunny Saturday afternoon, and you want to catch up with your friends. Without the convenience of instant messaging or calls on your mobile device, planning and executing social gatherings would take on a whole new dynamic. So you decide to meet up with a couple of friends at your favorite coffee shop. Without the ability to send a quick text to confirm, you might need to make plans in advance. You could call your friends or maybe arrange the meetup in person the next time you see them. It introduces a layer of anticipation and thoughtful planning that we might have lost in the age of instant communication. Now, when you finally gather, there's a different vibe to the interaction. No more distracted glances at phones during conversations. Instead, you're fully present, engaged, and immersed in the company of your friends. You're not constantly checking your phone for updates or feeling the urge to capture every moment for social media. It's a genuine, undivided connection. Without the immediacy of mobile phones, conversations become more intentional. You might find yourself truly listening, sharing stories, and enjoying the nuances of face-to-face communication. There's a richness to these interactions that goes beyond the quick exchanges we've become accustomed to in the digital age. Think about it. Socializing becomes a shared experience. Instead of everyone being in their own digital world, each person immersed in their phone, you're all focused on the same moment, the same conversation. It creates a sense of unity and closeness that can sometimes be elusive in the smartphone-dominated era. And let's not forget about those spontaneous moments. In a world without mobile phones, you might run into a friend unexpectedly while out and about. Without the ability to send a quick text to coordinate, these chance encounters become more magical and genuine. It's the joy of stumbling upon a familiar face and deciding to grab a cup of coffee or take a stroll together right then and there. Of course, there are challenges too. Coordinating plans might take more effort, and there's a potential for missed connections if someone forgets the details. But those challenges come with their own charm, the excitement of searching for your friend in a crowded place, or the thrill of unexpected adventures. So, in a nutshell, without mobile phones, socializing becomes more deliberate, present, and shared. It's a return to the basics of human connection, where face-to-face interaction takes center stage, and the essence of being together is fully embraced. It's a shift from the digital to the tangible, from instant messages to lasting memories. It's a different way of socializing, and for many, it might be a refreshing change in our hyper-connected world. Let's have a more casual chat about the impact of not having smartphones on our work life. Imagine this scenario: you wake up in the morning, and there's no smartphone to grab. No checking emails in bed, no quick scroll through notifications. Instead, you're getting ready for the day without the constant digital buzz. It's a bit nostalgic, right? Now, let's talk about work. Without smartphones, the way we handle our professional lives would be quite different. No more replying to emails on the go or managing tasks while waiting for your coffee. You'd actually have to wait until you're at your desk to catch up on work-related stuff. I know, it sounds a bit inconvenient, but think about it. The separation between work and personal life would be crystal clear. No more feeling compelled to respond to emails during family dinner or while hanging out with friends. You'd have a distinct work zone and personal zone. But of course, there's a trade-off. You'd lose the flexibility of handling work matters wherever you are, but on the flip side, it might lead to a healthier work-life balance. You could focus on work when you're at work and fully engage in your personal life when you're off the clock. And let's not forget those times when you're out and about, and your boss can't reach you instantly. It might sound like a relief, but it also means that urgent matters might take a bit longer to address. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think not having a smartphone would make your work life simpler or more complicated? Let me know in the comments. Let's take a trip down memory lane and talk about entertainment and leisure without our trusty smartphones. So, imagine this: it's the weekend, and you're looking for some entertainment. No smartphone means no endless app options, but fear not, we've got alternatives. First up, let's talk about traditional gaming. Remember those days when you'd gather around the table for a board game or a deck of cards? Well, that's making a comeback in this smartphone-less world. You'd be spending quality time with friends and family, engaging in some good old-fashioned competition. How cool is that, right? No more solo gaming on a tiny screen. It's all about face-to-face interactions and the thrill of winning or losing together. Now, when it comes to music, say goodbye to your extensive Spotify playlists. Without smartphones, you might find yourself digging out your old CDs or cassette tapes. Remember the excitement of making a mixtape for a friend or a crush? Well, that becomes a thing again. You'd be popping those CDs into a player or maybe even rediscovering the joy of Walkmans. The simple pleasure of choosing the perfect track and enjoying music without constant notifications interrupting the experience. Isn't it refreshing to think about getting lost in the music without the distractions of incoming calls or social media notifications? It's like a mini time travel to the era when music was a deliberate, immersive experience. And what about navigation and travel? Without GPS on your phone, you need to dust off those paper maps or ask for directions. It might sound a bit daunting, but think of it as an adventure waiting to happen. No more robotic voice telling you to turn left, you'd be relying on your sense of direction and maybe asking locals for tips. Getting lost could lead to unexpected discoveries, right? It's a different approach to travel, a bit more spontaneous and reliant on the good old human touch. So, what do you think about this smartphone-free entertainment and leisure scenario? Would you enjoy the return of traditional games, CDs, and navigating with paper maps? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep this conversation going. Let's dive into the challenges and drawbacks of living in a world without smartphones. It's a bit like stepping into the past, and while it has its charms, there are some hurdles to navigate. First off, imagine not having instant access to information. No quick Google searches, no Wikipedia on hand, you'd have to rely on your memory or head to the library to gather information. It's a bit inconvenient, especially in a world where we've become so accustomed to having answers at our fingertips. You might find yourself spending more time looking up facts, but hey, maybe that's not such a bad thing. It could encourage a deeper understanding of the subjects you're interested in. Now, think about emergencies. Without smartphones, calling for help becomes a bit more complicated. Response times might be longer, and in urgent situations, that time could make a significant difference. It's a serious drawback, and one that really highlights the importance of the instant communication capabilities we often take for granted with our smartphones. And what about staying connected globally? Without smartphones, keeping up with real-time updates on world events becomes a challenge. No more instant connection with people from different parts of the world. It's a bit isolating, isn't it? Sure, you can still send letters or use landlines, but the immediacy and ease of global communication we have today would be a thing of the past. But here's the thing, as much as these challenges exist, there's an opportunity for a simpler, more intentional way of living. Imagine a world where you're not constantly bombarded by notifications, where you have to put in a bit more effort to get information or connect with someone. So, what do you think? Are these challenges deal breakers? Or do you see them as a trade-off for a potentially more mindful way of life? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep this conversation rolling. And there you have it, folks, a journey into a world without smartphones. It's been quite the ride exploring the nuances of a life less connected. What do you think about the challenges, the nostalgia, and the potential for a simpler way of living? I'm genuinely curious to hear your thoughts, so don't forget to drop a comment below. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing for more thought-provoking content. Thank you for joining me on this unique exploration. Until next time, take care, stay connected, even if it's not through a smartphone, and keep embracing the wonders of the analog world. See you in the next video.